Hi guys, Frank here from Build Your Own, and this is my 1994 Chevy Cheyenne C 1500, and it has 208,000 miles on the odometer. Actually, if we take a look in here, we've got 208,659. So yeah, this is my 1994 Chevy C 1500. It has over 208,000 miles on it, and it purrs like a kitten. Listen to how quiet this engine is. I put a lot of time and money into this engine to get it to run like this. This truck runs like a new truck. So how did I get this truck to run this good? I think I've done a pretty good job maintaining this truck. It's got over 200,000 miles on it, and it's going strong. I fully believe this truck could easily hit 300,000 miles or more. So what I want to talk to you about today is 5 tips and tricks to get a used truck to 200,000 miles or more. But first, real quick, before we actually get into that, I just want to remind you to check out the playlist for this old Chevy truck. If you're interested in making a truck last to 200,000 miles or more, watch some of my videos where I'm fixing up this truck in one form or another. I'll put the link to the entire playlist in the description below, and I've got quite a few videos on this old truck. So this is the year 2020, and a truck, especially a loaded F350 or loaded Silverado, can be a significant financial investment. You probably use your truck to get around, do some work, or run errands. Full disclosure here, I paid $1,100 for this truck less than a year ago, but you know what? At the time, $1,100 was all the money in the world. I have since put a lot more than $1,100 into this truck to get it looking and running like this. So if you keep your truck running in peak condition like mine, that means you'll enjoy a smooth ride for a long time. An average truck runs for 100,000 miles, but with some care, you might hit the 200,000 mile mark without needing a new transmission, engine, or major repair. It is worth noting that while I have not had a major engine catastrophic failure, no transmission problems, knock on wood, or anything like that with this truck, I have put some money in it, but it hasn't been any major engine problems. It's been really deferred maintenance that this truck has really needed. So with that said, here are some essential tips and tricks to get your used truck to over 200,000 miles or more. So I talked about 5 tips. Here's tip number 1. Check your driving conditions. Yep, sure. Having a checklist and going for a routine maintenance is important, but how you use your truck is what determines its longevity. Whether you're driving off-road, carrying heavy loads, or taking numerous short trips, the way you use your truck is what determines the type of maintenance it needs. I am all about maintenance. I actually did a video on this truck for 1994 Chevy C and K 1500s on their complete maintenance schedule. I'll put a link up to that video in the corner, and I'll also put that link in the description below. I also wrote an article on my website about the maintenance schedule for this truck. So what I'm really trying to say is your maintenance schedule is very important. And if you don't know your maintenance schedule, or you lost your owner's manual or something like that, you can easily Google your maintenance schedule by your year, make, and model. That information will come up. Tip number 2 is, well, go for a wheel alignment. Is your truck pulling to one side? Then, well, maybe it might be time for a wheel alignment. I say might because when I first bought this truck, and I would have to panic stop, you know, if you have to hurry up and slam on the brakes, the truck will pull really, really hard to the right. So of course I thought there's something wrong with the brakes or it needed a wheel alignment. Turned out that there was a suspension component that was bad, like a tie rod or something like that, that needed to be fixed or repaired. And then, well, no more problem with that. Aside from obvious problems like with your suspension and stuff like that, aggressive driving or driving over rough roads can lead to misalignment. Moreover, misaligned wheels tend to wear out a lot faster. Over time, this can lead to poor handling on the road, as well as degrading gas mileage. So I would suggest, making sure you check the pressure of your tires to avoid vehicle pulling. Ensure that your load is evenly secure and spread out across your bed if you happen to be hauling anything around. Tip number 3 is don't miss an oil change. It says engine oil. Don't miss an oil change. Many manufacturers these days anyway recommend getting an oil change every 6 months or every 7,500 miles. If you have an older high mileage truck, it's best to change your oil and oil filter at the same time. Now me, I'm old school. Remember that whole 3,000 miles or 3 months or whatever that was back in the day? I'm all about changing the oil more frequently. Yep, I get it. Some cars can cost, can cost a few $100s or more to get the oil change, but it's cheap maintenance, it's cheap security. And so I like to definitely get my oil changed about every 3,500 miles, but that's me. I would just, if you're concerned about when the exact time is, you can certainly follow the intervals that the manufacturer suggests for your car. When it comes to engine oil, there are many kinds of oil geared towards increasing the life of an old engine. Be sure to check your owner's manual to determine the best oil for your truck. The service department at your local dealership can also recommend the best type of oil if you don't know. Next tip is to, well, change your air filter. As you can see, this air filter in my truck is very clean. You can even see the sunlight right through that air filter, so you can genuinely see it is truly clean. Engines need clean air for them to function at their best. With extended use, engine air filters become clogged with chemical contaminants, debris, and dust. You should have your filter changed after 30,000 miles or if you drive your truck on dirt roads often. A clean air filter not only optimizes an engine's efficiency and acceleration, they also help your engine last longer. So my last and final tip, and we've kind of been talking about this the whole time, is go in for routine inspection. I actually have a video where I took this truck in for inspection and got some things handled. So I'll put that link up, and I'll also put that link in the description below. So, you got to get in for a routine inspection, whether you think the car needs it or not, or whether you think your truck needs it or not. Going for specified checks at a dealership you trust will keep your truck going for a long time. A trained technician will check your spark plugs, brake pads, and batteries to check for any issues, among other systems. They'll do a lot of other checks too. I just kind of was hitting a few high points there. Having your truck inspected early can help you spot problematic areas earlier on, ensuring that you're safe and that your truck runs for a very long time and doesn't leave you stranded somewhere in the middle of the road. As far as who you want your mechanic to be, who you trust, where you want to take your truck in for service and inspections and maintenance and all that, I guess that's entirely up to you. Me, I've had a lot of cars over my lifetime, and I used to do a lot of independent indie shops to get your car serviced. But sometimes these days lately, I just prefer the dealer. They definitely know what's going on. And yep, it does cost a few more bucks to get it serviced. But you know what? When I got this truck, it had some problems, and I tried to get some cheaper fixes done, and it never got done right. When I finally took it over to the GMC dealer, the truck's been purring and running perfectly ever since I took it over there. So to me, that speaks volumes. However, a good mechanic is a good mechanic. All right, so that was 5 tips and tricks that you can use to help your used truck get to 200,000 miles and more. And as you can see, if you take care of an old truck, it'll take care of you. I spent a lot of time polishing up this truck, cleaning this engine bay. This engine bay certainly didn't look like this. This truck was more pink than red when I bought it. Like I said, I've got the whole playlist. You need to check it out. You check out the very first video I did on this truck, and this looks nothing like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. If you found this information helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I'm gonna tell you to have a nice day, and I'll see you on the very next video.